It doesn't matter what your favorite form of social media is, the dominant topic of conversation, and it will go from the spring to the summer to fall camp to the regular season, how Nick Saban may want to play this. It's the conversation of Mac Jones and Bryce Young, the quarterback situation that is Mac Jones and Bryce Young. And Alabama has had a lot of interesting quarterback debates, quarterback conversations in the past. 2008, we all remember Greg McElroy and Star Jackson. 2009, we all remember Greg McElroy and Star Jackson. I always wonder whatever happened to Star Jackson, but it is what it is. 2014 gave us a good battle between Blake Sims and Jacob Coker. Of course, 2016 provided us with Jalen Hurts versus the field, and the leader of that field was Blake Barnett. 2018, we had Jalen Hurts versus Tua Tagovailoa, and the controversy that was. But the battle that resembles the situation that we're facing now and the two competitors of Mac Jones and Bryce Young would be that 2011 matchup, or that 2011 race, that being A.J. McCarron and one Phillip Sims. And it's crazy how history tends to repeat itself. 9 years ago, social media was not as big as it is right now. Back then, Facebook was popping, Twitter was getting its legs up, you had YouTube, Instagram wasn't really conceived yet, wasn't really all that big yet, and Snapchat was not even thought of. But back then, it was more so word of mouth, it was more so newspapers, but the same type of hype that Bryce Young is getting right now, that same type of hype Phillip Sims was getting back in the prior to the 2011 season. And while 9 years ago, social media was not as big. To me, math was never my subject. I thought math was my subject back then. It never was. I was decent in science. English was pretty good, but history was my thing. I was a huge history buff here. And just reflecting back on that 2011 quarterback race, everybody was big on Phillip Sims. People talked about Phil, as you're seeing the slide here come up on screen discussing both guys, Phil and A.J. McCarron. Starting this off with Phil. Phil was a highly touted 5-star out of Chesapeake, Virginia, went to Oscar F. Smith School, was 6'3", 220 pounds, a guy that was a pro-style quarterback. The biggest difference between the situation with Mac and Bryce versus Phil and A.J. McCarron was Phil and McCarron, they were both pro-style, they were both regarded as pro-style quarterbacks. Phil, though he was mobile, though he was athletic, he could extend the play, he could move his feet, both guys were pro-style guys. And also, prior to the start of a 2011 season, both guys at least had 1 year of knowledge within the system. McCarron came in 2009. Of course, Sims came into that 2010 class, as opposed to Mac Jones and Bryce Young. Mac was a 4-star pro-style guy. Bryce Young, a 5-star dual-threat quarterback. And Jones is entering his 4th year in the system. Bryce Young, his 1st year with the Alabama Crimson Tide under Steve Sarkisian as the offensive play caller. But, and I remember this vividly just due to 2011 was my freshman year at the University of Alabama, the fall of that year. The summer of that year, I remember going to Bama Bound. And during that time, you had 3 waves of Bama Bound sessions. You had the May wave, the June wave, and the July wave. I came in July. And it didn't matter if I was going to take my placement test. It didn't matter if I was at the pool behind the rec center. It didn't matter if I was at the quad. It didn't matter if I was at Reese Pfeiffer Hall with the Communication and Information Science Department. It didn't matter where I was in my time at Bama Bound. I always tend to find myself within the conversation of who's going to be the starting quarterback. Is it going to be Phillip Sims? Is it going to be A.J. McCarron? And you had half the students that I was at Bama Bound going, man, AJ was a state champion at St. Paul Episcopal High School in Mobile. Man, AJ's a natural born leader. Man, AJ can sling that thing. Man, AJ had confidence. AJ got swagger. Did you know that AJ McCarron had a near-death experience? Ooh, but AJ battled through it. He fought through that thing. Like, AJ gonna be the man. AJ McCarron is gonna be that guy. And while you had that half saying that, the other half was like, man, bump AJ, forget him, man. He trash, man. Phillip Sims, that's the quarterback. Did you not see Phil at Oscar Smith High School over there in Virginia, man? Do you not see Phil? 6'3", 220 pounds. Bruh, that's the right-handed Michael Vick. Bruh, that is the next Vince Young, man. I saw where we being bound. We got punked out by Tim Tebow in 2008 before we got that revenge in 2009. Did you not see how Cam Newton made us look bad in 2010 when he was with Auburn doing that whole Cam back thing? I mean, I'm not an Auburn fan, but I just had to watch Cam Newton because he was out there giving people the business, giving folks the finger every single time. Like, that's the quarterback we need. We need a little razzle-dazzle. We need some fun. We need somebody who can run that thing and throw that thing and really see what's popping, really see what football is about right here. We need Phillip Sims in that thing. So it was a conversation, even with me as a Bama Bounder, between Phillip Sims and AJ McCarron. And upon me getting to campus that year, I even took Geology 101, the study of rocks, with Phil Sims. So I had class with him, and whether it was him on the quad or him at a bar or him on the strip or him at the dining hall, it didn't matter where Phillip Sims was. He drew a crowd. He drew people. People talked up Phillip Sims. People really believed this was going to be the starting quarterback for the Alabama Crimson Tide prior to the 2011 season starting. And if you remember, back in the 90s, Michigan had the same situation. Lloyd Carr and the Michigan Wolverines had the same issue. They had Tom Brady and they had Drew Henson. Tom Brady was the leader and the captain of that team, but Drew Henson was the guy that, five-star guy, can't miss kid, talented athlete, highly touted prospect, and people felt like if Michigan didn't play Drew Henson in football, they were going to lose him to baseball. Lloyd Carr said, hey, we got two quarterbacks. We're going to let both guys battle it out. We're going to let both guys duke it out, and whoever the winner is, will play the card how it lies. We all saw it happen. Tom Brady ended up becoming the guy and winning the job outright. Nick Saban saw the same thing in the 2011 season. He said, hey, we've got two quarterbacks. They're both good. They're both competitive. Neither likes to lose. Both guys want to be the starter. Let's have both of them play. Let's have them both play it out. Let's see what happens. And even with the vicious tornado that went through Tuscaloosa prior to the season starting and the city never being the same again, both guys battled throughout the spring, throughout the summer, throughout the fall. It was tight. It was neck and neck. Nick Saban didn't know where to call it, where it could go. You still have folks saying because Phillip Sims is mobile, because he can run, because he's dynamic with his legs, Phil is going to be the quarterback. Now, game one of the season, Alabama took on Kent State. Of course, I was there inside Bryant-Denny, Nick Saban's alma mater. And both quarterbacks struggled mightily. 4 interceptions combined between the two. They both had 2 each. But, Alabama was able to win the game 48-7. A.J. McCarron's able to barely edge out Sims in the fact that he had the only touchdown pass in the game between the two quarterbacks. He had more passing yards than Sims, and he had a higher completion percentage than Sims. Now, Coach Saban was not fully sold on either guy, but going back to what happened in the 2010 year where McCarron stormed into Nick Saban's office and said, Coach, why you got me running third team? Why you got me running with the scrubs? I'm better than this guy, that guy, and the other guy. Coach Saban basically said, okay, you think you better than? You got all that mouth? Prove me that you better. Show me you better, young man. Show me. So Coach Saban pulls from that nugget that McCarron provided him in 2010, 2011, going back to a conversation I had to end last week's show. You got to give the quarterback a chance to fail. And Nick Saban gave A.J. that chance to fail against Penn State, the second game of the year, where you're going up to Happy Valley, crazy environment. Of course, Alabama was able to win that matchup 27-11. McCarron was able to balance the offense, have everything in order, and won that job, completing 19 of 31 passes for 1 touchdown. And just like Flavor Flav on that reality show Flavor of Love, when he would tell the women, hey, shawty, I love you, but your time is up. Unfortunately for Phillip Sims, his time was up. He was able to play 8 games that season, was a part of a championship team, but never was able to pop the way people thought he would pop, despite the conversation he got early on. So when you look at this situation with Bryce Young and Mac Jones, it's kind of the same ordeal where you have old school versus new school. New school is saying, we know Mac Jones has got the leadership. We know he's got the experience. We know he's got the arm talent. We know he's got the knowledge of the system. But can he do what Bryce can do? Can he extend the play? Can he wow us? Can he entertain us? Can he put points on the board? Because now offense is the big thing. Defense is a big deal. Defense is marquee, but offense is a bit more important now. Can Mac Jones put up the points? That's what new school is saying. Old school is saying Bryce Young can be a transcendent quarterback. He can be a big-time star. He can be a big-time factor. But can he handle the pressure of playing for Nick Saban? Nick Saban doesn't have a lot of friends. He can be a tyrant, if you will. He can be a disciplined disciple, if you will. And he craves excellence. He demands excellence in every sense of the word, even the very sweat that drips off your face. If that sweat ain't excellent, you and your sweat is going to hit the door. So Nick Saban wants excellence from every sense of the word. Difficult to play for him at times. So can Bryce Young handle that pressure? Can Young handle the pressure of playing on the road? He's going to go on the road. He's going to face some hostile environments, and he's going to be playing with a couple of young receivers also if they break into the rotation. Can he be the one to settle the troops down, to settle the group down and say, hey, I got y'all. I got this. Let's go out here. Let's make things pop. Let's make something happen. Last but not least, can Bryce Young handle the pressure of playing for a fan base that's got big expectations? When you do well, the fans let you hear it. But if you're struggling, the fans will let you know that as well. So can he handle the expectations of playing for Coach Saban? Can he handle playing on the road? Can he handle the expectations of the fan base? That's what the old school is saying in terms of Bryce Young. But this battle will go from spring down to the summer, down to fall, up to the start of the regular season. We will see how this thing plays out. But we take our first break here on In My Own Words, the podcast, hottest show, in my own words, hottest show on the streets for Alabama football news, notes, and information. Upon our return, we unwrap, we dive into your phone calls, text messages, tweets, thoughts, questions, and concerns after this.
Every sports fan deserves the proper representation. Whitwell Sports introduces to you the Title Towel. Wave that Title Towel in the air like you just don't care in support of Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Only $9.99 and it lasts a lifetime. Head on over to whitwellsports.com and get your Title Towel today. Touchdown Alabama Magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $5.95 per month or pay $49.95 for a full year subscription. That's a saving of almost $22. Make sure to subscribe before it's too late and get our new freshly printed end of the year magazine issue. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll Tide.
Thank you for watching Touchdown Alabama Magazine's YouTube channel. To continue to get the best in Alabama football content, subscribe here and turn on your notifications to stay connected with the hottest shows covering your Crimson Tide.